Oh boy, is this going to be a rambling review. Christian movie review. The Secret Handshake from 2015. That's not actually its title though anymore. Now it's changed. And we'll get into that. I'm pretty sure that this is only available on PureFlix. Of course, we have Kevin Sorbo points. All right. And it's about a troublemaker kid, as a lot of these movies are, who is trying to get the attention. I think they're like 12 or between 12 and 14. I don't even think they're that old. Somewhere around 12, 13, something like that. And trying to get Kevin Sorbo's daughter's attention by doing all sorts of really stupid things. And eventually Kevin Sorbo kind of has to go in there and go deal with it. And it turns out that him and this kid actually have a bunch of stuff in common, and they end up, the mother approves to go basically abduct the kid and take him on a camping trip. And the purpose is to scare him straight or show him how to become a man. And that's the whole idea and the whole premise and synopsis of the entire movie. It's sad that they couldn't use the title Man Up, because in 2015, Simon Pegg did a comedy which was also called Man Up. This movie is called Secret Handshake, and I thought it was it's based on a book. I thought the book would be called A Secret Handshake, but no, it's not. So I don't know why they went with that title as opposed to calling it Man Up Son or something, to where they could actually use that title. If you go to PureFlix, it is now called Man Up, which makes sense throughout the way that the story goes. This is not something that's heavy-handed Christian. It's about family values and doing the right thing. That's the basis of it, morality. So that's why I'm going to call this a Christian movie. What did I think about this entire thing? .5 out of 10. Easy. And that's really not even including Kevin Sorbo points. Everybody in this film acted their butt off. I mean, did a really great job. I mean, Sorbo, and I think one of the last ones that I reviewed was Sleepwalking. He cared about this one. The other actors that are in here, everybody's a nobody. Amy Grant is in here, who's not an actress. She's a singer. She's a musician. But everybody did a good job. The writing was very, very good. And the writer is nobody super renowned. Howard Klossner wrote and directed this, and he only has a few credits to his name. The characters are written believably. The movie actually does have a soundtrack. It's not the best at sometimes, but it's better than ominous tones from a keyboard, you know. I mean, a lot of these movies that can't afford to actually hire or pay musicians or pay for a soundtrack, they just have some guy on a keyboard just make tones or play a little bit of random piano stuff. No, this one actually did have real music in it. I'm not sure what the budget is. It doesn't tell me here. It's probably more significant than some of the other movies that I've watched on PureFlix. But the only actor in here that anyone's ever heard of is Kevin Sorbo. Unless you want to call Amy Grant an actor, which she's not. So, everyone did a good job. A lot of young kids in this. They all did fine. There's no, oh, I'm a producer, so I'm going to stick my kid in here in this role just so I can get some extra bucks and put it into his college fund, which happens all the time in Hollywood movies. Oh man, happens all the time. And you look at a lot of Star Wars movies for that. Yeah. But anyways, everything in here is very good. And, you know, some of the situations are very, I don't know if you would call it tropish, but they're sort of what you would expect. And it's like you have a character who's playing this type of character, and you have another character who's playing this type of character. Stereotype, something like that. But the thing is like with movies, especially adapted off a book, you pretty much have to take the essence of a character and stereotype them just so you have a character there. Because you don't have all this time to go through everybody's backstory and do all this stuff. Pretty well the backstory is they all go camping, and Kevin Sorbo takes his two friends that he went to high school with or college with, and he's known for 20 years, and he makes them go because he did all these things for these, and was like, look, you need to do this with me. We're not going to go golfing like we normally go golfing. Let's go camping. And so that's how he gets them in there. And of course, they have all their different personalities. And there are some very good comedic moments. There are some fairly decent twists. There are some things that are predictable, but it's a movie. You'd expect that. And overall, the entire thing was a very enjoyable experience. Incredibly enjoyable. It's really close to my review of What If, which I think I gave a 9.5. And that was before I knew about the movie called Family Man, which What If is basically ripping off completely. So now What If has to go down a little bit, because I didn't know about that. So I think this one would be tied with that, with What If. What If is an actual Christian movie, though, that's hitting you over the head with Christianity. This one is not. This one's a morals, family values deal. Acting is just about as good. I think Kevin Sorbo's acting in this movie is actually a bit better. Seemed like he tried. Yeah. I'm gonna do an 8.5 on this movie. As far as I know, it's only on PureFlix. And if you try to download it from somewhere, good luck finding out what the title is. Because when I watched it, it's called Man Up on PureFlix. That's what the actual title is. If you look it up on IMDb, it's called The Secret Handshake, which has almost nothing to do with anything. Really almost nothing to do. Again, with the story and as good as the writing is they set things up and they pay them off. Set up, payoff, set up, payoff, set up, payoff. That's how you're supposed to write stuff. It's a really, for a low budget, just really good writing in it. The Secret Handshake does come up at a certain point, but to name the entire movie over that, as opposed to the title that it is now, is called Man Up. I don't know. Secret Handshake doesn't really have anything to do with the majority. 9.5 out of the entire movie has nothing to do with anything. Like I said, if you have PureFlix, it's called Man Up. Otherwise, Simon Pegg movie, this came out in 2015. Simon Pegg's movie called Man Up came out the exact same time. So I don't know what happened with that, but The Secret Handshake is now renamed Man Up on PureFlix. So I don't know what the deal is with all of that. So if you want to see it, either look up Secret Handshake or look up Man Up. Okay, now I'm going to get into things that are, negatives about it. There's a guy who plays a hermit in the woods. And I believe the actor is actually younger than Kevin Sorbo. And he's supposed to be 20 years older or something. And they didn't tell the guy, not to shave before he was playing a hermit in the woods. So, you got this clean-shaven hermit in the woods guy. And their camping trip. And unless you watch I don't want to spoil anything, but unless you watch the movie, you won't know what I'm talking about. However, I think that there's some cut things that person wasn't actually the hermit in the woods. I think that person was actually related to something else that was going on in the story, who just happened to be watching out for Kevin Sorbo and his friends, and the boy as they're out in the family or out in the woods doing their thing, and actually make them kind of rough it a little bit. That's what I think about that. Um, I think everybody was cast incredibly well for what they're doing, and it's a good thing. And y'all should go check it out. That's what I have to say about that. We're out of here.